free of what she did for whatever reason, you know.
Right.
You know, obviously, to me, she was afraid of something, and the way I see it is, she was afraid of her husband. Okay,
That could be.
and she even said it. You know, she was afraid that basically she was going to be getting beaten by this guy.
Right.
She left for 5 days
Right.
out doing drugs, sex, and alcohol. Okay, and then he finally caught up with her. I mean, you know, we know that happened.
But what we're trying to do is figure out who is responsible for these dead women. That's what we're trying to figure out.
I'm telling you,
Because somebody needs to pay society for that.
From my heart, I am more than willing to share with you.
I know, but you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm just asking you to do one thing for me, and it isn't worth it. See, it isn't worth it for you to do that for me.
Sam,
no,
you're not working with
it doesn't work that way.
I didn't say it was.
Doesn't work that way.
I didn't say it wasn't worth it. It's one of those things
Totally
where
worth
we don't. It's almost like one of those things where if someone gets blackmailed to do their job, that's not how it should work. It should
I'm not
work.
blackmailing you.
No, I'm just saying as a hypothetical. When someone says you either do this for you to get the information to do your job, it shouldn't happen that way. People should be good. I believe you're a good citizen. I don't think you've been in any trouble. I don't think you've been in any trouble at all. Maybe a DUI.
No, nothing.
You're
in the
Back
past,
in the
yes,
70s, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't make you a bad person. However, if someone has knowledge of someone who had killed multiple women and they withhold that knowledge, what does that make them look like?
You know what?
People need to stand up and they need to share that information so that people who are out there killing these women, they need to pay that price.
I'm all about it. I'm all about helping with
We've already told you that we're willing, we've got authorization to go talk to Helen Troy, but not before we get information.
You know what?
And if you want it to be the other way around, there's no reason to continue this conversation.
Yeah. Well,
none.
Well, my stand is that I want the information so we can figure out who it was that killed these women. Not to sound like I don't care, because I do care. If you got railroaded, that's wrong. Okay.
We don't do things like
However, our main objective is to figure out who is the person who was killing these women. Okay. Based on what I've read, it wasn't you. Based on the things that I've seen in the different cases that I've looked through, you were not tied to.
Did you see what that said in there?
Okay.
Did you see what that letter or the news article?
Yeah, I read that.
Do you want to talk to Matt
Can we
privately?
can we talk for a minute?
Yeah.
Can we talk for a minute?
Well, we can go. You can stay in there.
Yeah, you can stay.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'll shut it off. It's 15:06 hours.
But that's what we're looking for.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
Well-
because I'm going to tell you why.
But Sam,
Here's the thing that I do like about him here so far is that I've been dealing with him for 2 weeks. What you just saw, he's pulled with me on the phone already. He already told me, you better not be fucking wasting my time. And he told that to me 2 or 3 times. So I was trying to gauge when I first spoke to this guy. Is this guy blowing smoke up my ass, or is this the way he normally is? What you're seeing is what you're getting. You can tell he's been in the service. My dad was a colonel in the Army. He just reeks that he was in the military at some point. Number 2, he's obviously intense. And 3, whatever's on his mind comes out of his mouth. And here's the thing is that I want to find a linchpin where they're going to hop on a plane and go to Minnesota. So that's why I asked the question, what do you need to have to be on a plane in Minnesota to appease your lieutenant? And the thing is, he's not looking at 1 or 2 cases, he's looking at 20 plus. He's looking at 20 plus cases here that they need to close in one form or another. And my guess is they need something that they can go back to the lieutenant and go, Sam Waters isn't a liar. And I bet one of the things they're scared about is, let's say they do hop a plane and go and talk to Helen Toy. He doesn't know you. He hasn't known you for 8 or 9 years like I have, okay? I know that you're a man who, your entire business runs on your word. Sure. It does.
yes.
Your clientele that is at your business, on a daily basis that I have contact with, you do business the old-fashioned way. You shake hands, it's
20 years ago, I was the same person doing the same thing, doing business with a handshake. Honey, it's a risk, man. I'm telling you flat out, it is a dangerous risk. okay? Because, hey, things get twisted, man. This is gonna go up to the top, I guarantee you. This is big, it's big.
Sam, you nearly died 3 years ago. There's a window,
I did.
there is a window of opportunity, and there isn't a doubt in my mind that the reason why you're still here is God has a reason for you to be here. And there's probably 20 or 30 people right now who have been brutally murdered down in San Diego who need your help. And there's people down in San Diego, with that goddamn Bobby Dominis being one of them, who thinks that you're either a monster or some hick yokel up in Oregon. And believe me, she probably thinks the same thing of me, all right? But I'll tell you something, you have a rare opportunity here to prove to some of these idiots that you're not the person they think you are, and you also have the ability to hold some cards pretty close to your chest. We need to get this guy on a plane to Minnesota. There has to be a way where a minute or small compromise can be reached where they get the bare minimum of what they need to put them on a plane to Minnesota, and someone needs to have a conversation with Helen Toy, and it needs to be video recorded so you can see a copy of the interview. Whatever needs to be done. I don't know what the hell this woman looks like after 20 years. But here's the thing. They are the gateway to Helen Toy.
You realize, let me tell you something,
You can feel it.
If I can feel it, and it's dangerous, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, because one, dead bodies don't talk. And, you know,
Stevens is dead.
the information I have, and that's the other thing too. And once I spit out the information that I have, okay, I am a suspect instantly, just because I have the knowledge of that, okay? And then I'm a suspect before they get anything out of Helen Toy, all right? So being a suspect instantly because of the knowledge I have.
Just like when you mentioned, you know, when you got your picture taken. You
Yes,
know?
I was innocent when they snapped my picture.
You know, I told you how Helen...
I used the word, I heard you might have caught the Green River Killer. Those were words of just honesty.
But look at it this way too. You know, I told you that your case is going to be able to re-examined one way or the other.
Right.
That preliminary process has already started. You've got investigators in San Diego who dust off your case and reading the case file and seeing some of the same things you're seeing. If they go and interview Helen Toy and she recants everything, or at least gives enough where shit, you're exonerated. Well, that same thing, end result's going to happen. People are going to be re-examining your case. That's going to happen. It's happening now.
See, there's no promising.
They could already be putting you as some of these suspects.
I mean,
I didn't like his attitude.
You know what, I understand what his job is, okay? His job is to squeeze the facts and the truth out of you.
yeah.
I am all about it, but I'm gonna tell you something, Smith, it isn't you sitting over here in the hot seat that they're trying to draw this from. I'm trying to exonerate myself, okay, and share it with honest truth what I experienced and what I heard. You know, I'm being asked to sit here and start identifying individual body situations here, you know, with accuracy that nobody is going to be a suspect but me, because I'm the one that knows this information. It's too dangerous.
Well, is there one you can think of where you're clearly not believing? There's no, it's not even physically
Yeah,
possible. You were out of the state or something?
Listen.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
They put shoulder-length hair on me. I had a haircut with the barber coming in and testifying. So they put shoulder-length hair on me, and they put a beard on me like this, okay? And the barber cut my hair a week and a half before they took my photograph, okay? And even at the preliminary hearing, his hair was a lot longer. His beard was a lot longer. A lot longer than it is now, and that's on the February 14th. She testified to that. His hair was a lot longer than it is now. He must have cut it. It's too dangerous, Smith. I'm telling you, these guys don't know you from Adam. They're just two cops that are down there. They've got, X amount of bodies that are laying out there unanswered for. And here I'm a guy 20 years later who happens to fit in the time frames of all of this stuff, sitting here talking about, hey, my son, my grandson. I mean, they don't give a shit that my grandson's name's on Google. They don't. I'm not asking that much for them to, even if they did a phone interview, okay, something. With you there.
But you got to. Here's the thing. I don't want a phone interview. I want somebody in person with her.
No, I understand.
I want somebody at her doorstep.
They're ultimating me that, well, you're not getting anything. Well, then, you know what? How important is clearing me so that I'm believable for everything I'm telling them when they want me to sit here and start spilling my guts, and they don't even want to go spend a couple of dollars to go find out what is really the truth with her, so my credibility is at the highest peak as possible, and that I'm not being looked at with any kind of possibilities. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It isn't worth it to me. I want closure for these people.
All right, 1 second. Oh my God.
But you know, I'm being railroaded right now.
I'm sorry, I have a D.